My name is Rob Wallace. I am your life coach and spiritual mentor, and this is Self-Love with Law of Attraction. Hello, wonderful, beautiful, shiny, happy, forward-moving, productive people. Are you feeling amazing today? You're in Module 18 of your Self-Love and Law of Attraction course. You are almost there. Can you feel it? Can you feel a brand new you? A new you, which is an old you. It's the you that's been there waiting to be realized. Doesn't it feel wonderful? And the topic of this module is getting into the spirit. Now, folks, I just want to say, I was going to call this topic the letter because the exercise I'm going to get you to do, and I'll explain it further on in the module, is about you writing a letter to yourself. But as I got thinking about the theory aspect of this module, I realised what I really want to teach you folks is about getting into the spirit of your manifestation, which means getting into the spirit of what is already there, because that's what manifesting's all about, okay? It's about getting into the spirit of the belief that what you desire is already there. Now, on an even higher level, what this really means in regards to self-love is you getting into the spirit of believing and realizing that what you are is love, okay? Just like your manifestation, you getting into the spirit of love is realizing what is already there. You've just not been aware of it, you see? So you see, the way you manifest in regards to believing what you want is already there is very much the same way in you believing in yourself. It's about believing what you are is love, and that love is already there. You are love, and this love which you are contains all the riches that you can ever imagine. Your love is your wealth. And when you realize that, like I've said all along throughout this course, you will receive the wealth of love, you see? And love comes in all forms and expressions of wealth, okay? The wealth of health, the wealth of happiness, the wealth of abundance, the wealth of financial income, okay? The wealth of everything, because that's who you are, love. Now, I'm going to be talking much more on what I mean by getting into the spirit. And I'm going to be talking about that in regards to the teachings of a wonderful man called Thomas Troward. And the reason I've not spoken too much about Thomas Troward in this course is because Thomas Troward, as wonderful as he is, his work is extremely deep, okay? And I would only advise reading his work once you get to grips with teachers like Neville Goddard. And on that note, I want to go to Neville Goddard because Neville Goddard talks about the same thing. He talks about getting into the spirit, but what Neville Goddard called this is wearing your desire. Getting into the spirit and wearing your desire are both two in the same teachings. They teach the exact same thing. When you wear your desire, you're clothing yourself in your belief. So what does that mean? Well, it means, in regards to your manifestation, you are clothing yourself, you are wearing your desire, you see? And to wear your desire is to walk around believing that your manifestation is done. Okay? You're wearing your desire. And what that means is you're in the spirit of your desire. And it's the same with self-love, folks. You know, if you're someone who's looking to build your self-confidence, building your self-esteem, healing yourself, you must wear the best version of yourself. You must get into the spirit of the best version of yourself. And folks, I'm going to ask you a question which you should know. What is that best version of yourself? Say it with me. Love. Because that's your true identity. You want to wear love because that's who you are. You want to get into the spirit of love because the highest, greatest spirit, the one law which governs all of creation, is love. And so you want to wear love and you want to get into the spirit of love. Okay? So, wearing your desire in regards to your manifestation and getting into the spirit of your manifestation is the exact same way that you get into the spirit and wear the realization that you're love. You see? Your manifestation and your true identity is not something you have to seek. It's not something that you have to rummage around in physical reality and find. It's not to be found outside. What you see outside of your reality, okay, I've already told you what you see outside is what you've created in your own mind. So what you're seeing outside is what has already been created, okay? That's not the place where you need to go and validate yourself. The validation is not coming from the outside, right? The validation is going to come from you choosing what you want to believe in, right? It's about you realizing what's already there. Think of someone who's sitting on an oil field or a gold mine. It's not something they have to go and look for. It's something that's already there. If you want to go and do something in physical reality, you actually don't have to find it. Think about that. You don't need to find a thing. Everything you need to create whatever it is you want is there in physical reality. The materials for a TV, right? Think about a television or a computer or a phone. The materials come from the earth. You don't actually have to find it. You may need to learn how to construct this type of matter with this type of matter to create a certain product. Well, that comes through education. That doesn't come through having to strive and find something. Well, it's the same in your imagination. You construct your desire in your imagination, you see? My point is you don't have to find a thing. What you want is already there. And when you manifest something, there's a phrase, and that's, God has given you all the ingredients, but he's not going to cook your dinner for you. Everything on this earth can give you whatever you desire, but God is not going to cook your dinner for you. You need to go and cook that yourself. But you've been blessed with all the ingredients. Your imagination will manifest the ingredients that will bring you towards your desire. Now, the reason I'm telling you all this is to get you into the mentality that what you want is already there. You're wearing what you want. This earth is clothed in everything you could ever desire. But you need to go and cook it. You need to go and collect the ingredients and cook it. You see? For example, if someone wants the perfect job, They're going to be given all the opportunities to get that perfect job, but if they don't take the inspired action, that is, if they don't go into the kitchen of life and cook their own meal, you see, then nothing's going to get done. So when I'm talking about getting into the spirit of things, I'm talking about realizing that what you are in terms of identity is love. And what you want in terms of your manifestation is already there. Now, what does it mean to wear your desire? In terms of life, what does it mean to wear your desire? Because that's obviously a question all of you are asking. Well, let's say someone wants to be an artist of any sort. Let's say a musician or a painter, right? Whatever. Let's say someone just wants to be an artist, right? And they want to make their financial abundance through art. And they want to give back to the community through art. And they want to heal and inspire and elevate people through art. Well, okay, that person can't sit on their backside and wait for an opportunity to come. Now, what I mean by that is take the musician, for example. The musician shouldn't be sitting in their bedroom writing songs and just hoping that someone will literally come knocking on the door and say, you know, here's a record deal, right? Now, you can maybe manifest that if you believe that's what will happen, sure. But you need to make sure you believe that's what's going to happen. But here's how it works, right? The musician must wear the desire. So how does the musician wear the desire? Well, they write songs. They need to go out and play those songs in the bars and in the pubs, you see? They need to go out to music venues and play the songs. And what happens is, when that musician starts to take inspired action, right, the opportunities grow. What you'll find is the more inspired action you take, the more the opportunities will fly your way. The opportunities will come out of nowhere. I've seen it happening. It's happened to myself. For example, I'll give you an example. I had an agent who would book me gigs maybe once every 3 months. I had all sorts of ways in how I got myself gigs as a musician. I've got various ways in how I find gigs for myself, and one way is I use an agent. And this particular agent gets me a gig maybe once every 12 weeks, right? But when I did a manifestation to get more money through my gigs, I'm not kidding you, within 48 hours, that agent came to me with 7 gigs in a row. 7 in a row, right? That's not a coincidence. Not only did the agent come to me, I had 2 people in the space of 48 hours approach me to ask me if I wanted to play in their bars and pubs. I had almost £1,000 manifested within 48 hours. That's how you wear your desire. Now, did I tell you that the 2 people who approached me wanted me to play in their pubs? They approached me during a performance. I was in the middle of wearing my desire, taking inspired action by performing, and I didn't need to lift a finger. I was given more gigs, almost 10 of them. Now, I got about 6 or 7 through the agent, who only gave me about 4 or 5 gigs in a year, and I got 6 or 7 gigs over the space of 2 months. The dates I was given was over the space of 2 months. You see, I'm just giving you an example of what happened through my own personal experience. Sure, I wanted to make money as a musician. I manifested making more money as a musician. And I wore that desire as a working musician. I went out and I played. And then the opportunities in abundance came to me. Not just one opportunity, not just 2, but almost 10 gigs in the space of 48 hours. And that happens all the time. To me, anyway. When you wear your desire, the opportunities will come out of nowhere. But as long as you go out and wear your desire. But what you'll find is, whatever you want to do in life, Go out and do it now. Find a way of doing it now, okay? Because that's going to define who you are. Define who you are in terms of what you want to do and in terms of wearing your desire and getting into the spirit of your desired life. If you want to be a doctor, go and help people right now. Don't sit around and wait, right? If you want to be an artist, go and paint right now. Don't sit around and wait for things to happen. You need to go out and you need to do things. You need to stop sitting around. You need to realize who you are. You are love, right? What's that got to do with what I'm talking about? Well, I said it all the way throughout this course. You're love. You are full of love. You are full of use. You see? Love is useful. Love is you. You are full of love. Give that love away. Give it out and it will come back. Give it out and it will come back in the form of health, wealth, and abundance. But you need to go and give. It doesn't matter if you have to do it for free or not for free. Get into the spirit of loving what you do and be receptive. Being receptive means do not pass up an opportunity to make money, Sure, go out and do it for free. The only reason I'm telling you to do it for free, yes, it's wonderful to help, but it helps you get out there and kickstart yourself wearing your desire. Because if you sit around inside the house, folks, nothing's going to happen. You need to get out there somehow. You need to find a way of being in the spirit of what you wish to do, okay? Now, when it comes to self-love, like I've already said, you need to wear the spirit of love and get into the spirit in order so that you could be full of love, okay? And be full of use. Now, the exercise I want you to do today, it's actually a very common exercise. It's about writing a letter to yourself. But the reason I want to come at it from the angle of wearing your desire is because the letter you're going to write to yourself, that's what's going to clothe you, right? All the wonderful things which you're going to say about yourself, right? It's going to be a combination of all the wonderful things and all the constructive ways and how you've turned negative into positive. You're going to write this constructive letter to your inner being to tell yourself how wonderful you are and how much faith you have in yourself. And I'm going to guide you through this letter, okay? You're going to write that to yourself and you're going to speak it back to yourself while looking into a mirror. This is probably one of the biggest projects you'll do in this course. So what I want you to do, think about all the exercises you've done in this course. Many of these exercises have been designed to get you to focus. It's to get you to turn the negative situation into a constructive situation by not banishing negativity, but by transforming negativity, not judging negativity, but lifting up that which is in the negative state into a centered way of being. There has been no fight. There has been no opposition. What we're doing here is lifting up. We're lifting ourselves up. The positive part of ourselves is going to look at what's negative about ourselves, and we're not going to fight with that. We're going to lift it up. We're going to reach down. We're going to offer it a hand and lift the goodness that's in there and lift it up to the center of being. So when you write your letter to yourself, it must be uplifting. See what I'm saying? There's no point in you writing anything that pushes downwards. It must be uplifting. And that letter must meet your eyes in the center of being. So when you look into the mirror, you must see yourself complete. You must see yourself full of love. And you must read that letter and mean it to yourself, okay? And you need to be able to go in front of a mirror and tell yourself that you love yourself, okay? So when you write your letter, I want you to focus on a whole number of things. I want you to talk about what are you worth to people emotionally, right? What are you worth emotionally to other people? And what are you worth emotionally to yourself? Then, if you're a parent, I want you to extend this letter to your children. I want you to extend what you're going to write in this letter in regards to your children. What are you worth to your children? And what are your children worth to you? Okay? And then what I want you to do is to say, how useful are you to your children? What have you got inside of you that's useful to them, that's going to see them through life? And equally, how is your children useful to you? Then what I want you to focus on is areas of your skills. That is, what skills do you have? Do not leave this blank. What skills do you have that can serve society? So I want you to think, how are you full of skills? How are you full of use in terms of practical skills? And how can they serve humanity? I don't care if it's cooking, knitting, a musician, a psychologist, an architect. Every skill is valid, okay? Every skill that everyone has in this world has an equal opportunity to serve humanity. What are your individual skills? The only rule I'm going to tell you, this letter is going to be to you, to your whole self, not just your higher self, not just your lower self, but to your whole self. And the letter is going to be uplifting, okay? We're going to be lifting up. We're not going to be pushing down. We're going to be lifting up and moving forwards, okay? Then when you're finished, folks, this is actually the hardest part. I want you to go in front of a mirror and I want you to read that letter back to yourself. That's going to sound easy, but it's not as easy for some people as it sounds. You must read that letter back to yourself and mean it. And this is where this whole module comes into play. When you read that letter back to yourself, you're going to wear what you've affirmed about yourself in that letter. All the uplifting things which you've said about yourself, you are going to wear those desires. You're going to wear what you've affirmed about yourself. And you're going to get into the spirit of that uplifting best version of yourself, right? Because when you do that, then guess what, folks? You're going to manifest the best version of yourself. That's going to be your exercise. So, folks, this concludes Module 18. We are sailing. We are cruising towards Module 20, where you are finally going to go through life as a better version of yourself, as the best version of yourself, because you are love, okay? You are love. Everybody is love. Folks, have a wonderful day. God bless you. I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.